Today, I want to share with you an experience that I was reminded of recently. I used to work in a bank about 15 to 18 years ago, and this happened at the bank that I was working. And I used to travel to different branches for the job that I was doing at the time. And there was a coworker I had at the time who was trying to get tickets to the John Edwards show. And at the time, I didn't know who he was. And nobody knew that I was doing this work. But when she started to tell me that he's a medium, and he does a show where he goes online live and he picks people from the audience and does readings for them in live in the audience right there. I got intrigued. And so, we talked about how she was trying to get tickets, but they were so expensive and there was a wait list and she wasn't able to get in. And she's been trying for years. I still didn't know why she wanted to do that. But, our conversation got cut off. And then I went home that night. And for some reason, I kept feeling like somebody was trying to connect to her. And then I woke up the next morning and I was doing my usual meditation and auto writing. And I started to feel as if her husband was trying to come through with some messages for her. And so I wrote the letter from him to her as he made me write down all of these things. And I didn't know what to do with it because, at the time I wasn't telling anyone about it. But I kept the letter with me. He had a few things he wrote in there that, were like things that I would have never known. Like he talked about a train whistle being important to her and how he knows that that is important and that's a sign from him. He also said that she doesn't need John Edwards. She should know that he's always around her and something to that effect. I mean, it's been many years now, so I don't remember the exact details, but I do remember going back the next day and telling her that I had this message from her husband. And then I told her that I was a medium and I felt like she needed to hear it. And so the only time I would mention this gift to people is when I felt strongly that someone was trying to reach out to them, or if I felt like I could help them with it in some way. But other than that, nobody else knew about it. So I told her, listen, I do the same work as John Edwards. I'm not on TV or anything, and I don't do live readings, but I have a message, I think, from your husband. Would you like to read it? And she was already super excited. She's like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me you do this? And I would have totally taken you up on it before. And I gave her the letter. She started to read it and, she started to have tears roll down her eyes. And she said, oh my God, I cannot believe that he doesn't want me to go to John Edwards because he's giving me all these signs. And he's talking about the train because every day he used to go to work. And then when he came back on the train, I would hear the train whistle go off 5-10 minutes before he got home. So that was my way of knowing that he's here. And now whenever I hear that train, I just talk to him. I just say to him, I love you. I miss you. I know you're around me. And that's just our moment of connection. And so him validating that is so big for me. And I think what this letter did for her is just give her this sense of comfort and knowing that she wasn't alone. And sometimes when we lose somebody, we forget that we're still connected to them energetically. And when you receive a message from them, from the other side, it just validates all your feelings for them. And so, I share this just to show you that your loved ones are probably around you, giving you messages all the time. All we need to do is be open to them and acknowledge them and think of them fondly and know that they are guiding us and they have become our angels. And so if it brings you comfort, use it and look for signs for yourself. Sometimes the signs come in the form of songs. Sometimes they come in the form of poetry that you read. Sometimes we, see butterflies or cardinals or dragonflies. Sometimes we see a rainbow, right? And so whatever it is that you want your loved ones to communicate with, give them a reason. And the way you know that it's for you is something in that moment makes you pause and say, oh, what was that? What was that? Okay, that reminded me of this person who passed. And immediately you know that they're trying to send you a message. So I hope and wish that you receive signs and guidance from your loved ones as easily as I do, because I think that is the number one blessing in my life. And I wish you all the best, especially during this holiday season. I know it can be hard, and I just wish that you will receive abundance in love and compassion from everyone around you, whether they're here in this lifetime or they've passed on and you feel their energy. All right. Thank you and have a wonderful day.